you, Brother Trump. Amazing. Thank you. We now know what we do want. We want justice for all. We want truth. We want a sense of unity. We want to love and be loved. We want to create a prosperous, safe, and enjoyable experience on this planet. What is it that we do want? Do we want higher walls? Do we want to foster intolerance and fear and anxiety and scarcity? No, I don't. I don't know, do you want to?
No, thanks. I just want more of what I have, which is peace, prosperity, abundance, satisfying relationships, beautiful surroundings, loyal companions, and a sense of self-worth and fulfillment. These are part of my life, so I'm happy to just continue.
Yes, we have been able to create a beautiful, idyllic life for ourselves, for our children, and for those people that just happen to be in our direct circle. And we created that beautiful, peaceful, abundant, sweet, idyllic life because we were very committed to our own spiritual path, our connection to God, and we were committed to bringing the love of God into everything we do, into our every thought, and by doing so, bringing everything that is in vibrational resonance with beauty and peace and love and all things good into our experience. And I don't see myself different or special or anything different than anybody else. And if I can create a beautiful, peaceful, amazing, joyous, abundant life, then anybody can do it. And this is really what I would like to share. Like, let's start using our ability to create in a constructive, positive way. And let's start giving our attention and our focus to that which we do want. And let's start working towards solutions to the world's problems rather than staying fixated on the unwanted. And that's really what I am here to promote. And the only way I know how to do that is by sharing my experience and saying, hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's really my intention behind the videos that I'm creating. Not just the theory, not just the book knowledge, but my experience documented over the course of my life. And I feel very hopeful that humanity can get it right and start moving into a place of more joy and love and peace and abundance. What about you, honey?
I already have all the abundance I can handle. Thank you. I don't need it anymore. We live in an environment which is exceedingly abundant, just through the natural flows that are around us, whether it's the wind, the rain, the soil,
The sun.
the sun, and everything needful has been provided. I'm also at a phase of my life where I don't have any big projects that are occupying my attention like they did in other phases of my life. And I guess it's more contemplative. Thank you. Share the abundant. Here. Can't have cookies. I have a scientific bent. In under other circumstances, I may have become a scientist or an engineer or a doctor instead of a goat farmer. It hasn't stopped me from being curious about how the universe works, you know, and understanding kind of the fundamental laws that underpin creation and our experience. All of these books, I think I've read all of them. Yeah, some of them more than once, and plenty of others, you know, that have served as an inspiration. But there's nothing that can replace practical experience. You know, everybody's life has enough material in it in order for them to use it to understand how these concepts work and how to apply them.
So in focusing on what you do want and creating it and being a co-creator with the creator, what would you say to people who are saying, well, I am focusing on what I want. I don't want terrorism. I don't want illegal immigrants who are using drugs. I don't want my family to be unsafe. Is that really focusing on want, or is that still focusing on what we don't want? Is that still resistance?
Well, I would say any sentence that starts with I don't want ... and then a object of your attention arises, which is that which you do not want. Invariably, I thought, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to feel unsafe. I don't want to have Donald Trump as my president. The object of the attention is still on the unwanted. But it's very simple. Once you know what you don't want poverty. Well, turn that around, a 180. If you don't want to struggle and experience lack, the exact opposite is I want to experience prosperity and I want to have an easy life, an easy experience, an abundant experience. I don't want terrorism, let's say. What do you want? Well, you want the opposite. You want to live in peace. You want to live in safety. The unwanted provides contrast. And once you understand the contrast, it's very easy to flip to the opposite, which is then an indication of like, okay, and this is what I do want. I don't want to feel unsafe. I don't want to be scared. What do I want? Well, I want to feel safe. Let's go back to terrorism because that's a biggie. There's a lot of fear and anxiety around terrorism. Fighting terrorism and making an entire religion an object of your negative attention is not going to solve this issue. 99.9% of Muslims are people like you and me that just want to live in peace like everybody else. And instead of demonizing a group and making every Muslim a potential terrorist, why not empower and support the majority of Muslims who just want a peaceful life? They say, Salam alaikum, which means, may peace be upon you. That's what 99.9% of the Muslims want. In the end, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew, in the end, we all just want a pleasant, peaceful life. A terrorist is not born. A terrorist is created. And the big war on terrorism is only doing one thing, and that is creating more terrorists. It's a spiritual law, but it's also just a very practical law. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy. If I look upon you as trouble and always treated you as if you are trouble, guess what? Eventually you'll go like, well, screw you then. You think I'm trouble? Oh, you haven't seen trouble yet. What are the odds that a happy, fulfilled person that is living a great life, has a beautiful home in a nice neighborhood, happily goes to work every day, pays his taxes, has a nice family, his kids are doing well in school. What are the odds that this person one day wakes up and goes, wow, the sun is out, it's a lovely day, you know what, I think I'll go to a mall and blow myself up. What are the odds? Scale from 0 to 10. 0, no chance whatsoever, as to 10 being absolutely that person, that happy, fulfilled person that feels loved, is loving, feels respected by his neighbors, is having a great life, and all of a sudden this person decides to blow himself up and take a bunch of us with him. What are the odds?
But the probability of being injured by an act of terrorism is far lower than being struck by lightning. But nobody started a war against lightning yet.
Not yet.
I've heard of. At the root of all this is fear. It's fear. It's either fear of the unknown, fear of death, fear of injury, fear of suffering, fear of pain. It's still fear. And the only antidote to fear is love. You know, love as the, you know, as God dispenses love, which is unconditional, universal, and everywhere and at all times present. So that circuit is available to us if we so choose. It's the only proven antidote to fear. Because no amount of scientific endeavor, no construction, none of the works of man will guarantee safety. Ultimately, if someone else doesn't come around and knock your castle down, you know, time and the elements will do it. So our only true refuge is, you know, in the arms of, choose your appellation, the Almighty, the Father, the Mother, you know, that which gave birth to us and to this whole experience that we're having.